Mic check. Are we live? I think we're live. All right, we're good. We're good. All right. Well, welcome. Welcome to Chuck for Options. I'm Chuck or Charles. You can choose. All right. This week I want to go over my trade thesis. I think we did really well last week. Last week we knocked it out the park. Let's pull that up. This trade thesis right here. Last Sunday we knocked it out the park. So this is something I do naturally. I just never really thought about, having a trade thesis on Sundays. And more recently, like last week, I figured, let me just record it, because I always do it. So it's like, why not record it? Maybe other people need like insight, or you might want to learn um, how to do certain things, or how do I get to certain conclusions. Well, it starts with Sunday. So we already have this. I have some notes already, so I'm pretty much just going to copy paste them, and then we can just go over the concepts. There's going to be some things that we're going to have to let me see if I can pull up trading view, that I'm going to have to actually measure out. Like, we're going to check over some levels of a few things. um I'm sorry. I have so much stuff on here. All right. So it isn't going to be perfect. It isn't going to be fast in the beginning, but as we get better and we get a format, we're going to get better. All right. Let's pull up some trading view. All right. All right. Then we can just go from here whenever we want to look up some charts. So one thing I'm going to want to do is look at the economic calendar. All right. Let me come over here and pull up. All right, this is pretty much the template that I have currently. All right, and then we're going to do that. We can do that last. All right, so right now we are in a. It's not really a war. We are currently in a military operation. From what I how I've deciphered it was, war has to be declared by Congress. And the reason why I want to mention the war is for a couple of things. Commodities, for one. Another thing that's huge for the market is if we escalate to a war, Trump can administer another set of tariffs. So I'm going to get this. Yeah, we're just going to copy, paste this over here, because this is going to be the public thesis right here. Okay. So this is big. This is like clumped up and everything, but war has to be declared by Congress. If we escalate, Trump can administer emergency tariffs. This is huge. This is a big part right here. This is like the crux of it. Currently, it's a military operation, so Trump could be going for these emergency tariffs. So he's definitely playing a game here, and just like we were discussing before about the commodities, I think we want to take a look at the different prices of oil, gold, and silver, because they're going to fluctuate. From what I'm hearing, gold overnight spiked, I think, like 10%. They think through this conflict, I'm sorry, oil can spike at 10%. So the market isn't really going to like that at all. And when it comes to war, I'm sorry, not war, but when it comes to uncertainty in the market, uh, it's very bearish at that moment in time. But that's when we'll see the commodities market kind of uh, increase off of that. So, oil, I guess, I think we have some oil in the fund, actually. I think we have some Exxon. It's the last day, 4 or 5 p.m. So this is it. So we're not updated. So on Sunday, the futures market opened, I believe, 5 p.m. uh Eastern Eastern time, New York time, standard. Um, s- so I'm not going to be able to be here to uh really do the I guess a better open, because then we can see what the prices are. I have a prediction that we are going to limit down. Um, there's a chance that we can maybe go down on SPY about anywhere from 1 to 4%. One. Oh my goodness. To uh, -4%. Okay. Oh, that looks just so weird, right? So this is a pretty mild. Well, I mean, this is a big average right here. I mean, -1 to -4%. That's huge. We would be winning if we be winning big if this thing opens up -4%. We do have some positions open. Let me see what we got. So what I do on my channel, I am a SPY trader. I do look at other tickers when things pop. We do jump because we do momentum trade as well. But yeah, we do. Yeah, that's nice. And this is really nice actually. That's going to be sick. All right, so we do have some really good. Did they actually sell? They did sell last week. Oh, and that's another thing I wanted to talk about too. Wow, they did sell. What did I sell them for? That's good. So last week I thought I was having a rough trading day on Friday. No, it actually wasn't. It was actually a really good day. Um the reason why I wasn't projecting what I thought I was supposed to be projecting was because of some longer dated puts that I had. And the market kind of ran the day prior, so they weren't looking so hot. So, but they're good puts. They're good shorts. But yeah, I wanted to, because I was like, man, like I thought I would be, but and I was just thinking about everything, and yeah, so we actually did a lot better than what we thought. Um, so this is pretty much everything that we wanted to uh, go over in the beginning. The war, because this is actually a big deal. Gold, silver, oil, those are big deals as well, because they are in people's portfolios. I have I have very little in this public fund with Exxon, CVX, and I think that's it. What's this? Yeah, semiconductor. All right, I do like some semiconductors. So in this fund right here, we're gonna add every week to it $100, but I don't think we're gonna add it all at once. I think we're gonna add it throughout the week. We're gonna look at the levels of things, then we're gonna go from there. I missed this Nvidia trade. I mean this Netflix trade. I launched out on that because I knew if they didn't get the deal, they got a free $3 billion. They got $3 billion because they allowed Paramount to take the deal. That's very bullish for Netflix. Because they don't got to put that money out and and whatever monies that comes along with that. So 3 billion and 12% is a lot. I know those option contracts. Can you guys see this window? Yeah, yeah, you can. I know these things. I know these things. Look at this. Look, look at this. Insane. 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 This thing was at $75. This thing was at $75. You would have bought this contract. This contract. We can't open the con in here. Maybe here. No, we can't. So I wish I can open that up and see it, because you could have paid anywhere from like you could have paid like $20 for that thing, $50 for that thing before that movement, and you got $2,200 from it. So that's kind of crazy. So yeah, so we kind of missed the Netflix trade, but that's actually one of the purposes of the long term. You do want to put yourself in positions like that, just like that, just like that. I was just doing other things, um, and I wasn't necessarily like looking at it, and I wish I really did, because I would have mopped that up like big time, like that Netflix was like crazy. All right, we can come here. We're going to go on the graph. This is crazy. 76 right there, $75. That was February 23rd. February 23rd. So on Monday, you bought those contracts for like $20, $30 each. By Friday, the 27th, right here, the 27th, even in the beginning. Oh no, that's too late. Right here, around 1 p.m., 2 p.m., even right here, even all throughout the just all day, like those contracts just went crazy bananas. The day before, the 20 no, that's the 25th. The 25th, they still like I just missed it. I missed it. And this is exactly what happens. It happens so fast, and I was just so distracted doing trading uh spy, you know. But when you get breakout trades like this, that's when you can make the most money, of course, because it's just a clean breakout. And we knew why Netflix was going to break out, and that's why I bought some Netflix too. But man, but moving on. Um no. All right, so let's look at the calendar on Monday. What do we have going on? Any ISM manufacturing at 10? I mean, I think when we open, this thing is going to open down like big time. I have some calls. I only have one call. I wish I would have opened a couple more, because like just this war. I was just really bearish because of the war. I don't know how anyone can be too bullish, especially with this AI trade. But they're kind of making the AI trade. I don't think the ISM is going to really matter too much. We can't even see the estimates or anything. Tuesday. No, I don't see anything Tuesday, right? No. We have the Fed member speaking Tuesday. Tentative? No, that's not us. Nothing Tuesday, Wednesday. ADP non-farm payroll change. This is big. Wednesday's big. All right, so let's do this. We're going to get our week ready right now. Page up. Boom. So this is going to be Monday. Three, what? 3-2. 3-2. And we're just going to clean the template. And then we're just going to push everything over. So we have a good clean template going into, I don't even think I put the push. It didn't matter. It was it was so easy. Single prints. We can update. I actually don't know. I don't think I have it. I think I sold the TTD. I think I have the pins, Humes. I think I wish I would have kept the Adobe. I have no more AIM. I think I'm out of PayPal. I'm out of the Walmarts. We're going to take a look at Fix. All right, so we got this puppy clean. Copy. So this is just all relevant. So this is my journal. This is one of my journals actually. So this is the physical journal that I keep online. This is for the public. I created this journal. This is my inspiration. I didn't get any inspiration from anyone else. I didn't get the idea from anyone else. This is all me. This is a Chuck original. This is all me. Everything from top to bottom, every word, everything. So, yeah, there's that. I think I did copy it already, but just in case, because I got into my little diatribe. Tuesday. And if anyone knows a producer, I need a producer or an editor. At least I need an editor. Oh, and this gap is coming, baby. This 660. Oh, this 660 is on the table. This 660 is on the table. Oh my goodness. All right, this is irrelevant to even track anymore, but this is on the table. This 660. That oh my goodness. Okay. All right, we want this. That's Tuesday. All right, here's Wednesday. You know what? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Friday is the 8th, right? No, 6th. How did I get 8th? Ugh. 6th. All right, 3, 6. Thursday, the 5th. Wednesday, the 4th. And this is Tuesday, the 3rd. And this is Monday, the 2nd. Okay. All right. So we have let me open this more so we can get more of our times right here. Okay. All right. So, all right. So here's our template for the week. Here's our Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So let's come in here on Wednesday. We have non-farm payroll. Non-farm payroll. Non-farm payroll. That's at 8:15 a.m. So usually I I used to wake up at 7 o'clock so I can begin trading at 9:15. It's good to have prep time, get everything ready, be ready. Get those endorphins going. You think you're just trading, but you gotta really be alert and ready. All right, on Thursday, we have our unemployment. Let's move this over a little bit. Thursday. Oh, definitely. Just know. How do you spell employment? Uh, uh. Okay, unemployment claims. At what time? At 8:30. 8:30. Please don't make fun of me of messing up on unemployment. I was there. I was there. I was just it's just a lot of other stuff that I also got going on too. Think of all the other stuff I can do besides misspell that word. Unemployment claims. I was going to say Trump. Oh, Trump will. He's going to. Let's see if there's any White House briefings. If they added any White House briefings to the calendar. Oh, just know he will. He's coming on the air. API. Oh, I'm about to say what? CPI? What? That's not like consumer sentiment. We said Wednesday. That's not farm payroll. We have unemployment claims. And then on Friday, core retail, not for pay change. Unemployment rate, no. Revise. Oh, okay, that's European GDP. Today might be PMI. No, that's Canadian. Fed speak on Friday. Fed speak on Friday. Well, look, guarantee, okay? Guaranteed Trump is going to speak. Yeah, this is going to be a very bearish week. So, be careful. They can, the market's going to do whatever the market's going to do. We are here to just be ready and capitalize on what's really going on in the market, So we don't want to jump ahead too far. There's a couple more things I want to do. I'm just going to breeze over them so we're not here long. Because I'm a yapper. I know I can yap. Just be like, yo, Chuck, you're yapping, and then that'll refocus me. That's what the alarms are. I don't have alarms on to snap me out of it right now. So, okay, I just want to make sure that looks good. Okay, so that's the economic calendar for the week. Trading View. This is Trading View. I am not paying for Trading View. I honestly I don't use Trading View. So right now, I'm just stunting. Okay. I don't. I honestly don't even feel comfortable using it. So let's get out of that. I don't feel comfortable using that. Let's just stick with Weeble. Weeble's good enough right here. All right. So we want to look at the ranges that we're in right now. So Friday after market, we dropped another like almost 0.5%. Like that's kind of brutal. So let's zone out because the minute is a little bit too close. All right. The day is probably a lot better. So you can see over the past week plus, we've been very range bound. This is the top end of the range. Here go the low end. This is definitely, you know, people don't understand that there's so much money between these like moves. You see your stock goes down a certain percent, but the SPY is definitely moving. That's why I just want to become a master SPY trader. I really want to specialize in mastering the SPY. That's my ultimate goal. Um, I want to catch the breath and breathe with it. When we breathe with it, uh, man, it's a beautiful thing. Um, and we've been catching these zones really well with a style of trading that I do. And I refer to it as just range bound trading or boxed range bound trading. Okay. This is when you create a box in the range and then you trade that specific range. And you can trade within it. It gives you opportunities to see whether we're bullish or bearish. And since we're trading in that range, it allows us to get better entries into our contracts and better uh, exit points, highest point in the contract. So it's a really cool tool that once again I created it, I invented it. I'm sure some other people, probably, of course they did it. I'm definitely not the brightest star in the sky, but um, the point of it is we picked up on it, we learned it, and now we are mastering it, and we use it every single day live, and we make some really incredible. Um, we make incredible opportunities for ourselves. The fuck, to make money, to make some good bread. Like, I don't want to beat around the bush, but it's highly efficient. You can go back and watch me do it. Over the past 2 months, every day. It's really cool. I have shorter videos, but like one day, if you have like a couple hours, you can definitely just pick a video and get some raw footage, some really good trading. It's been really cool. But anyway, uh, we want to look for the range, okay, that we can hit. 83. So I was saying, because we do have a 660 gap right here, back here. Okay. So this is the gap that we can definitely go fill. But look, there's more below it. Man, 649 is on the table. 650. Yeah, 650, 649, 650. That's a double touch right there. Yeah, I think these levels could be definitely on the table. I mean, if this thing escalates to a war, if it isn't already a war, I can just be totally wrong, and this is 100% a war. I mean, I don't know what attacking, two countries attacking one country is called, especially on this scale. And prayers to the people of Iran, and the people of Israel. Those civilians, they have nothing to do with these missiles being thrown around over their heads. These civilians have nothing to do with it. And I've more recently heard that we've lost a couple U.S. troops as well. So definitely prayers going out to everybody. I think we should be careful, um, just how we approach talking about it, because this is human life that we're losing. We're losing human life at the end of the day. Innocent, innocent human life. When one party enlists into the military to go to war, and another party enlists into, you know, um, the military to go to war, and they fire a shot and they both kill each other. They both, that is a justified, death and killing, because they signed up for that. But when civilians, when children and women and people that are, visiting those beautiful, wonderful countries to see those beautiful, wonderful people, when their lives are threatened and taken just because they're in the area is wrong. What Trump is doing is wrong. And if you disagree, there's a problem. All right, moving on. Um, there's other metrics we also want to look at this week. That's really important. Let's pull up the journal, at least the trade thesis. We want to look at the UVIX. We want to look at the elevation levels of the UVIX. So let's come here and search the UVIX, UVIX. Okay. All right. So no, what, what? How did, what? How did Adobe? Look, we still have a probably get a little bit more. This is a little better. This is a lot better, actually. All right, so this is Friday, 1:30, 2:24. What was this? 6:65, 7:10. This was big. I remember that day. 7:10, and the VIX is rising. When was this? All right, so I'm just looking for dates and levels for where the VIX spikes. So the VIX, I'm sorry, the UVIX. The UVIX acts inversely with the SPY. So when the UVIX goes up or when the UVIX is green in the candle, you're going to see the SPY is going to be the total opposite. UVIX go up, the SPY goes down. The UVIX is green, the SPY is red. Okay. They are inverse to one another. And when you're trading, when you're day trading, this is just a really good metric that I like to use that allows me to, like when I should enter a trade, not really, yeah, when you should exit a trade. There's sometimes you can get a glimpse ahead, and this is what I use socks for. Right now, I'm looking to put SPY back over here. I cannot find the SPY. I'm just going to start typing it in because it's ridiculous. It isn't even moving. All right. So with the UVIX, whenever you see green here, you're going to see red, red, green. So the SOX is a leverage ETF, a bullish 3 times leverage ETF. All right. There's not too many of these, but this is, I would say, about 90% on. This is going to move. You're going to see a movement with SOX L slightly before SPY. Why? Oh my goodness. All right, there we go. Slightly before SPY. And they're going to act together. So when SOX go up, shortly after, you're going to see SPY go up. Volume matters, but we get paid through price, okay? So just know and be sure that the volume is going to look a little bit different, but it's the price. So when we're looking at our contracts, you know, you're gonna understand it the more you do it. It's kind of hard to explain it, but when you're trading, you're gonna understand it. All right. Another thing we want to take a look at too is the VIX. The VIX is really important. The VIX measure it has two measurements. It is a fear index. It measures the fear of the market, how people feel. Okay. Now, when the UVIX and the VIX, when they start going in the same direction, look for heavy movement in the opposite direction of the SPY. Now, as I'm saying all this, these things are happening by the second, by the minute, because we watch minute candles all day, from 9:30 to until we finish trading. We watch the 1 minute. Now we do visit the 5, the 30, the 1, things like that. But we do watch every tick. I've been watching every tick for the past like 2 years, 2.5 years. And prior to that, it was for a 3 to 4 year span of watching the charts, the minute charts. And it's fun. I think it's fun. I think it's fun. It's fun as hell. But going back, the VIX and UVIX. Whenever these guys go together, they dance together. Look for aggressive movement in the opposite direction with the SPY. I can't say up. Well, I guess if you see these guys go up, then you're going to see this go down. But this is going to do whatever it's going to do until they get back in tandem. So don't expect to see VIX down and the SPY up all the time. You know, uh, don't expect that. All right, all right. So we definitely want to check out the levels of the UVIX. We hit a high the other day, 22. It was 25. Whoa, 28. It was that October. This was Trump. Fucking Trump. I remember that day. That was nasty. Nasty. He wiped a lot of money from the market that day. So we definitely going to look for higher elevation levels on the VIX. As the VIX go up in price, that is going to show extreme fear. So going into Monday, I would definitely look for extreme fear coming out of at least elevated levels, higher levels. Yeah. Uh. Okay. All right. Yeah. Oh, guys, this part is very boring. The money isn't boring. So just, watch. If you're watching, definitely bear with me. Um, if you do this right and if you watch, you'll understand why. You'll understand why I do this, why I put so much time into it. Cuz it's you need to, it's very important to know what, just what can happen. If you fail the plan, then you plan to fail. When you fail to plan, that's your plan right there. That's your plan to fail. When you fail the plan, that's your plan. So remember, when you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Okay, having a plan doesn't hurt at all, especially when you uh, are trading, but if you've been watching for a while, and you understand the money that we're making, because there's plenty of people in here that make money with me. One guy, Richard, he makes thousands of dollars daily with me, so I mean, it's a true and tried proven system. Um, so I definitely welcome everyone to definitely jump aboard and come make this bread with us, because it's here to be made. It's here for the taking. You just got to put some work into it. It's 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 crazy. Just watch those past videos, man. Like you'll see, like it's kind of real. Um, so we want to take a look at Nvidia. So the reason why we want to look at Nvidia is because Nvidia is a heavyweight, one of the heaviest weighted items in the SPY. And when that puppy moves, the SPY is going to generally go in its direction. Um, Now, sometimes they will decouple. When that decoupling happens, it is because of another heavyweight, Apple. Apple and Tesla is probably doing something. Google, something in the Mag 7, a couple things in the Mag 7 is going against that. I think it's like 8% of Nvidia that's going on. How come I can't find recently viewed? Oh my gosh, why does it do that? Just so my trade thesis the other day was putting Nvidia 170s on the table, and man, that was an amazing trade. Sadly, I didn't take the trade, but those contracts would have been like pretty nice right about now. The 170, 175. Let's check them out. Nvidia. $515. You would have paid $90 for it on 227. That was Friday, right? Yeah, that was Friday when I did this homework. Oh no, this was Sunday. I'm sorry, this was Sunday. So Monday, these contracts were about 90 cents, about $90, and they got up. Or they are at around $515 right now. So my trade thesis for Sunday was absolutely correct. I mean, I didn't make this money, but I made the money from the SPY trade because like I said, I was definitely focusing on the SPY. But think about it. We had this Nvidia trade. What else was going off too? Remember, Netflix was going off as well. Okay, so this is the importance of my vision is to have a trading floor. I want to have multiple people to trade with me, so when we see these different plays, we can jump on them. You know, yeah, I put the plays out there. I have a video coming out of just how much information I give out for free. You know how much, and you can go in all types of places. If you're a SPY trader, you're making money. If you're an option trader trading momentum, you're making money. Look at Netflix. We found the Netflix play uh subconsciously, but we found the Nvidia play consciously, and we did it on Sunday. Nvidia earnings didn't come out until Friday. You feel me? I'm sorry, Wednesday, after hours. So homework matters. I like to do homework, especially when it's getting to the bag. And I get to the bag. And this is how I get to the bag right here. And it's boring, but the more you do it and the more money you make, the better it gets. The more fun, the funner it gets. It's crazy, man. So this puppy can still hit a low of 170. What is this? What number is? Oh, this is 170. Oh yeah, of course this is 170 because that's the level that I marked, and we're at 177 right now. At the top of the chart on 226, those contracts got really cheap. But look what happened on Friday. On Friday, that motherfuckers dropped. When was this? 25. That was 25. That was Wednesday. Okay, but after market, boom, it dropped. Yeah, that's why I was gonna. That's why I was gonna open up puts. So I would have bought my puts here, and then those things would have. I would have woke up like looking alright. I would have had my training like that end of day trade right there. I would have made more than enough money. I would have been happy to just you know, not even trade for the rest of the day, but you know, we out here for the bag, so we're going for a bigger bag. We go for the bigger bag. We usually trade our account. We usually trade our account from the whole thing all day. I think like one day, yeah, the one day I didn't because I was away from my monitors, and you need to see what's going on, to be effective. But usually we trade our whole account, the whole thing. I mean, we take money out and everything, but we still, you know, you know, trade everything that's inside of it. You don't need that much money, because honestly, there's only but so many plays that you can really do. I mean, you might see some follow through action, maybe with Netflix or Nvidia, and then you can still trade SPY. Yeah, you can do that. Like do that all the time. But that Netflix play would have been pure, because even if you would have put $200, not even 200, yeah, more than 200, because it would be 180, 270, so 270, even 180, you still would have made $1,000, over $1,000 actually, so that would have been mad real right there. That would have been, damn, I missed that shit. Cause I play, cause that's crazy. That's crazy. I can't believe I missed that joint, yo. Uh, and then we knew about the Netflix deal too. We knew that if Paramount didn't get, and this is all in the videos, people. By the way, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, some of them 3 weeks ago, talking about the stuff that's going on now and where we are in the charts now. So, it just isn't me talking out my ass. This is real information that I, track, follow, I trade every day, so it's not like I'm not a trader. I am a trader. Did I mention I need an editor? I need an editor, and I did. I need an editor and I need a producer. Okay. I would rather them be the same thing, but I have some really big ideas that I want to do and that I'm implementing. And um like I'm going for my series 65. So I'm going to be able to do more things for financial advisory because I do want to become a financial advisor. I do currently uh, hold an account for somebody. I do trade for someone, but it's just long term holds. It's not active daily trading. That's a whole nother beast. But I do, help people with their account, and they do pay me a fee for that. So, um, I'm out there. All right, so that's Nvidia. I was mentioning Apple before, so let's look at Apple. Here's Apple. This is the MACD. This is the uh, this yellow line. This bottom line is called the signal line. When you see the signal line underneath the MACD line, that is a bullish sentiment. So within this time frame, it was bullish, and that you can see it reflect up. Now this is volume, and you're seeing the positive volume being bought within the time frame. So this is also another metric that I use to trade throughout the day. You see that we're leaving bearish territory and going into bullish territory. Well, when to pivot, or to sell out, or like whatever you're going to do. But it's good to find the ranges. Um, this is like okay right here, but we looking for some more downside. This 217. What is this? So this is another heavily weighted item in the SPY. That's 217. What is this? 121. Wow. Wow, man. I think we have a rocky road ahead. rocky road ahead. I really didn't want to talk too much about um the war and everything, but at the end of the day, you have to uh talk about reality, especially when it comes to trading. Uh, is geopolitics, so we definitely have to pay attention. It doesn't mean that we condone it or we agree with it. It's just something that we do have to pay attention to because we're putting our money out here. Uh, mm, yeah. So we went over stocks. Oh, and BTC. We want to check out Bitcoin. So people are predicting that Bitcoin is going to go up, just like the other commodities. I mean, ever since we did hit this low a couple days ago. That's not the low. Is that the low? There we go. Let's do 28. Double bottom, triple bottom, 65, 62. That's the hour. We don't want hour. And that's just now 2-4. Yeah, that's a big drop right there. So here we are right here in this stack. This is February. This is all of February. Equal high, bearish, lower highs. This is an active chart. So you're going to see this thing move. We have a double top scenario here. It fell down right back down into bearish territory. It's kind of rangy. Down, up, down, up. And then that was a drop. But then over like the past couple days, this came out of nowhere. But we're going to see it definitely has to hit a level and stay above it. That 70 is big. There's a couple other big things coming up actually. So we're going to end the video soon. But I do want to talk about some events uh, that's actually really important to the market. And we have to find this NVIDIA event. All right. So and I think it's from the 6th to the 10th. The market could be waiting for this NVIDIA event. So we want to keep an eye out on that. When's the 6th? Friday. So it starts on Friday. Or maybe Friday to the 8th. Maybe it's just the weekend, but it's Jensen pretty much talking about other products, more products that they're having. And, they're going to they have to talk about CapEx. There's no way they're going to have this event and not talk about their capital spending on like AI and like what money that they're going to put over there. But oh man, believe it or not, this was fun. I really enjoyed this. Now, look, I do this all the time. I'm usually like playing music or watching other videos and consuming more content while I do this, but I figured let me get a little bit more streamlined and maybe if someone want to understand or know what is it that I do on Sundays to prepare for the week. This is pretty much it right here. I want to get all of my levels ready. I'm definitely looking to the downside this week, so we want to get those downside levels pretty much. We want to keep an eye on them. That 660 range that we seen back in 11/24, November 24th. I think that range can come back into play. Um, People were throwing around some numbers for the SPY. Do, Going up and down during wars and time of conflicts. And, on the low end, the SPY can drop. They put some numbers out, bro. We can be looking at like 590, 450. Man, so if we limit down, um, going into Monday, um, I'm gonna have a nice little fortune on my hands. Uh, this isn't promoting uh war or the loss of life, okay? Um, at all on any level, towards anyone for anyone at all. This is just a trading perspective. That's it. That's it. We're That's it. Okay. We trade every day, so we're gonna trade tomorrow like it's any other day. We're gonna trade this week like it's any other day. And during this time period, you know, uh, let's keep our head on our shoulders and definitely be thankful um, that if you are in a good place in your life, that you are where you are, because as we can see um, on television and online, there are a lot of people that are not in that position. So let's keep them in our hearts, keep them uh, on our mind, in our prayers if you do pray. Um, but just remember, like, love is key, people. Everything else is just fake. All right, I'm out.